Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 4th. Second day of uploading. Feels great. You don't know how good it feels to push that upload button once again. So we're going to keep going and let's get to work. Alright, I hope you guys are having a great morning. You had a great start to your work week. First things first, I would like to apologize for the audio. Right now I'm still using my on-camera microphone for this GoPro and it's not the best. Could be a lot worse, but right now it's what I've got. I'm still waiting on my Tascam microphone to come back, and while I do have a second one, I'm looking for an alternative to recording with that thing, just because I use it for my business and I don't want the mic to go through all of the jostling and things like that of me getting in and out of the car and things like that. So I'm looking for an alternative. I've got a couple different microphones that I could possibly use, but I am on it, so unfortunately for the next couple episodes, you're probably gonna have to withstand, so to speak, the poor audio through this camera. The other thing that I was thinking about doing was just using my Nikon, which seems kind of scary because that's the thing that makes me money. Right, like I've got a backup microphone, so I could just use that, and if it fails, then I have a backup one. With the camera, don't necessarily have a backup, and that's actually a fantastic segue into what's going on today. And I didn't even plan that. Holy smokes! So today after work, I'm meeting with someone that I found on Facebook, and I'm going to sell him my backup camera, or my original camera that I started my videography business with. This is a Canon Vixia RH800. It's a camcorder, and it's an HD camcorder. It's got all the bells and whistles and things like that. Touchscreen, 1080p recording, 60 frames a second, things like that. I'm selling it with the lenses, a couple HDMI cords, different lengths and things like that. The memory card. I've also thrown in this shoe mount that I have that I won't be needing, that I use with that camera, and then like a travel size tripod. So selling all that and then 2 extra batteries and a charger. So selling all that for the same price that I bought the actual camera for. So I feel it's a good deal. It works. I mean, it works really, really well. There's no physical damage to the device. It's been through 7 weddings. And really the reason why I'm selling it is I'm just trying to upgrade my hardware. Right? I'm trying to upgrade my equipment, and right now, this is like the one piece that's kind of behind the rest. And then when you kind of think about like I talked about yesterday, the extra work that it takes to match the quality of this camera to the quality of the Nikon, not even necessarily the quality, but like the colorization and just the look and feel, it just takes, it takes probably about a good half hour to 45 minutes per wedding film to get that done. So what I'm looking to do is purchase, another DSLR, and go from there. So that's where my question is right now. That's where my mind is right now. Do I, I've got the funding. I got the funds to purchase the exact same camera that I'm shooting on right now, the Nikon, and enough to purchase the lens I'm looking for. The question is, do I take that half step and get that camera when I know full well that I would like to be shooting on the Panasonic GH5, which is a significantly more expensive camera, probably about 3 times as much. still have the funds for that as well. Unfortunately, just the body, and that's the problem, right? So the camera body is the same price as 3 of the Nikon bodies. So I would ultimately be buying the Panasonic body and then renting the actual lenses for it going forward. So until I could purchase my own set of lenses for it. So it's kind of one of those catch-22 questions. You know, do you spend the money and get the camera that you really want to upgrade? Like, this is the camera that I will be shooting on probably for the remainder of my business. The camera is a phenomenal camera. It shoots in 4K, 30 frames a second. It's got the ability to shoot in 1080p at 60 frames a second, so you can do like slow motion and things like that, and kind of play with those types of effects. So there's a lot to kind of consider when it comes to making this purchase. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys would think. Like, if funding wasn't an issue, you know, what would you do? Would you go with, you know, the camera? Would you go with the camera body that, you know, I ultimately want to go to for like the full bank account, or would you go, you know, the full bank account and get the camera body and an extra lens to match the camera I currently have, which ultimately would be like zero work in post-production trying to mimic the two, because they would be, you know, there would be a little bit of color variation. But let me know in the comments section below, what do you guys think I should do? What are your opinions? I'm leaning more towards the Panasonic, but it's that price tag that really has me going, do I really want to do that? You know, I'm getting, you know, purchasing a camera that I won't have any lenses for, and although I haven't figured out, I wonder if the Nikons that I have will fit the Panasonic. Anyway, purchasing a camera that I don't have the lenses for, so ultimately I wouldn't be able to use the device until I actually rented a lens. So so there's that. So leave in the comment section what you guys think I should do and why. So the other thing that's really cool about the buyer for this camera is we talked a little bit on Facebook, and I found out that he was purchasing it for, I think, a nephew who's 7. I think he said 7 years old. His birthday's coming up, and he wants to be a director. He wants to shoot videos, and he wants to start a YouTube channel and all that. And I was like, man, kid after my own heart. Like, this is the camera that I started, you know, basically filming my wedding videography business with. This is the camera that I started shooting my vlogs with. This is the camera that I started my YouTube channel with. Now, granted, I don't use it nearly as much because of certain preferences. However, it is a phenomenal camera, and it's a great camera to get started with and kind of jump in, and, you know. So I told him, I was like, I'm kind of makes me excited that it's gonna see a good home. It's gonna get some use, and it's gonna help someone kind of follow their dreams. All right, the 9 to 5 is over, or 8 to 4:30, which is awesome, by the way. Love getting out at 4:30. Just feels like I've got so much more of the day left over to where I can actually accomplish things. So one of the things I started working on last night, one of the things that we need to get done for when we purchased the house, one of the things that we promised their part of the contract was we had to replace the access door window in the garage. Basically, the glass was shattered. It was and it wasn't safe. So part of the agreement for the lender to give us the money was that we had to either replace the glass, replace the doors, some form of fixing the issue at hand. So I've never built a door before. I've hung a few doors in my time, But rather than replacing the whole door, we're just replacing the window inside the door, which is kind of an interesting concept. Never done it before, so that's what I'll be working on tonight after I drop off this camera up in Springfield. So I'm gonna go grab some lunch or grab some dinner. After I drop this off in Springfield, then I'm gonna go ahead and grab some dinner and come on home, and that's probably what we'll be working on. I've got some email correspondence that I need to take care of tonight. I've got a few brides that are requesting a timeline from me. So, all right, let's take that back. So there's so one of the things I need to send out to a few of my brides is a timeline document that my wife and I created. We made separate ones because the videography and the photography, there's different needs for each of them, and she doesn't need to know who's giving speeches at the reception, whereas I do, so I know who to mic and things like that. So that's something that I'll be sending out to a few of my clients tonight, and it's a really cool document. If you haven't tried Google Forms, it's a free app with your Gmail account. It's pretty. I mean, I don't want to say it's super intricate. Like I don't believe you can do like if-then statements type of things. But you can basically just make a list of questions. Like you've got multiple choice, short answer, times. You've got check boxes. So if you want them to be able to select multiple options, you can do that. And you basically can share like these forms, and Google keeps track of what people are sending back to you, and you can kind of see the breakdown and stuff like that of how many people said this versus how many people said that. So there's a couple different case scenarios when you could use it, and why you would use it. For my purpose and for the business purposes, it's to kind of develop a timeline for what's happening the day of someone's wedding. Right, so event, it could be for anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a wedding, but in my case, knowing, hey, what time are you planning on getting ready? Where are you planning on getting ready? What time is the bride getting into her dress? What time, is the groomsmen ready? Where are the groomsmen getting ready? Things like that to help kind of develop, an idea on where do I need to be, when do I need to be there, and how long each of these different segments are going to take. If I know that the groom's getting ready at, this time and the bride's getting ready at this time, I know that, I could probably go get a few shots of the groom ahead of time, head over to the bride, make sure that I get every shot possible. That way, if she's late, I don't miss the groom completely. And, because it's all about the bride, right? That's what it's about, right? Yes, the groom is there, and yes, it's his day too, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure you capture the bride getting ready, the bride getting into her dress and stuff like that. So so getting some of the groomsmen and the groom ahead of time, not a bad idea. But this document helps kind of pan out where you're going to be and what time and things like that. So I haven't used this electronical device, so I haven't used this electronical document yet. Originally I had sent out a PDF where the client would have to print it out, write it, and then scan it in and send it back. That's too much work, way too much work. So this is a electronical, option, digital. This is a digital option, which is phenomenal because I can print out the results, and I send one copy to each of my clients, and it's not the same one, so they each get their own personal form with their name on it, and their name is throughout it. So it's not going to say like, what time does the bride get ready? What time does the groom get ready? It says, what time does Jenna get ready? What time does Matt get ready? Right? It's specific to that person, so, or that couple. So it seems it's a little bit exclusive for the bride and groom to have that. So, but being able to print it out and have it, on my side, or even have on my phone the day of the wedding, is going to go a long way. So I'm really looking forward to using it and kind of tweaking it as I see fit. But if you haven't checked it out, definitely check out Google Forms. It's like I said, it's free, and I'm sure there's better software out there. But when you're on a budget and you're trying to keep your overhead low, this is a great option. Now I'll report back once I've used it a few times. I'm sure there's some shortcomings, but like I said, you can't beat free. So, all right, so we made it to the rest area. I just messaged the Jared about arriving here. Told him we're in gray Ford Focus. Just waiting on him to contact me back. Hopefully he's coming. Sounded like he would be coming. He sounds like a solid guy. So looking forward to meeting him. Yeah. So also on a side note, we got a message from a bride from I spoke with a while ago. She said she wants to set up a phone call. So I was like, I'm available anytime after 4:30. She's like, great, I'll give you a call after we get off work. I was like, awesome. So I'm expecting a phone call for a potential bridegroom there, which is great. It's for October 19th, which is a day I have open, and I don't actually work that weekend, which is fantastic. So I figured while I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and get those correspondence done. I've got a few different things I can work on from my tablet, from my smartphone. I've got a few other things that I can work on while I'm waiting. This is kind of like the perfect example of why a tablet would be so much easier to work with. Not necessarily to like edit and things like that, but like being able to email and catch up on vlogs and stuff like that versus trying to do it all from the phone. But hey, you do what you gotta do. So we'll see. I do know I want to get a tablet for the drone. So that's going to be another purchase down the line. I just got to figure out which kind of tablet I'm looking at. I kind of want to stick with the Galaxy series, just because that's the kind of phone I've got. So like a lot of the apps that I have will kind of carry over, and that's just what I'm used to. So if you guys have any experience with any tablets or anything like that, definitely leave it in the comments below about what you like, what your experiences are with them. I'm not trying to spend a fortune because computer's going to need to be updated at some point in time, so just something that can run the DJI app and fly a drone. That's pretty much all I really need at this point. So all right, let's get some of these emails out and see what we can accomplish while we wait for Jared to show up. All right, so we just got off the phone with Lacey. Went really well. She had a couple questions about as far as what's included, and other questions that involve kind of like the behind the scenes, like as far as like contracts and things like that. Got those questions answered, and didn't get too much about the bride and groom at this point. I think they're more or less trying to pull the trigger as quickly as possible. Apparently their videographer backed out, and their wedding's actually coming up this October, so she's got like literally like 4 months away. So well, maybe more like 5 months. Yeah, more like 5. Yeah, more about 4. Yeah, she's got about 4 months till her wedding starts. So she was very nice. Kind of looking forward to it. So haven't booked her yet, but she did request a contract, so we'll go ahead and fill that out tonight and get that sent over to her, and then she knows that her once they get the contract back, I'll send her the invoice, and then she'll be officially booked. So all right, so we're waiting on Jared. He should be here in about 10 minutes, so we'll get that taken care of, and then we'll head home and spend some time with the family. Alright, so met Jared, cool dude. Came through with the money. Wasn't really, he wasn't really too interested in seeing the camera work itself. So he kind of, he trusted me, which is great because it works great. It's a great camera. And I told him, he's like, when the kid gets gets his YouTube channel up and running, shoot me a text message. I'd love to see what he makes. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm figuring it's probably going to be something like Godzilla and Rampage and toy monsters, something like. Doesn't matter. Want to see it because, you know, I'm interested in that kind of thing. So anyway, so we are going to swing through the gas station real quick, fill up on gas, and then head home and finish out this day. Hopefully we can get the next section of the door done for the garage. That's the plan, is to get the door done. So all right, let's get to it. All right, guys. So we got home, hung out with the family for a little bit. Turns out we got 2 new board games. Actually, let me go get those real quick. So we got 2 new board games that we ordered on Amazon in the mail today. Highly reviewed games, lots of fun to play. The first one is called Gloom. It's a really cool like card storytelling game. I won't get too far into it, but you basically have these transparent cards, or transparent cards that have like artwork on them, and each player gets like a family of like 3 or 4 characters, and the object of the game is to kill off your entire family. And the way you do that is by adding these cards over top of them that are translucent as well. So you got your character here, and you add a card over top of them, and it gives them negative points until they're eventually dead. Well, your opponents are trying to save your characters while they're trying to kill their own, adding cards that give plus points or negating your minus abilities. So, and the storytelling comes in. So the storytelling comes in, and it's a lot of fun where you make up the story as you go. So like the cards will give you like kind of like the premise of what's happening, and you kind of have to fill in the blanks as you're telling the story. And like you have to, like, you know, as you play a card, you have to push the story forward until someone has all of their characters are deceased. Kind of a, you know, very dark type of game, but still a lot of fun to play. The other one that we got today is called Sabotage, I guess, or Sabotage, can't pronounce it. It's a really cool, it's kind of like a kid's game, family-oriented game, where you're a captain of a ship, and you're basically making your ship longer, right? And certain things happen that the cannons will fire off, and basically you'll blow out parts of the other player's ships. Well, there's certain pieces that you can add to your ship that are like defensive pieces or attack pieces, so you can add more cannons that shoot, you know, multiple ways or shoot over top of ships or whatever. But there's also like defensive pieces where like someone will shoot a cannon and it'll have like a springboard and bounce back at them, and you can kind of organize your ship how you want it, and basically whoever has, I think it's whoever has the longest ship or whoever lasts the longest or whatever wins the game. So we'll definitely be taking the Sabotage game on or Saber Dage. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. We'll be taking the boat game with us on vacation next week, so looking forward to that. So anyway, got a little bit of work to do on the computer here. I'm gonna get that quote out or the contract out to Lacey, the client that I talked to, or the potential client I talked to earlier today, and then I also have a couple of those Google forms that I want to get out as well. So we'll go ahead and get those sent out, and then I got to edit this vlog and get it ready for upload tomorrow. So really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again. 2 in a row, so let's go for number 3 tomorrow, and I hope you guys had a great Tuesday, and see you in the next video.